This is a legendary case, a Jane Doe mystery stretching back to 1974. We know her as the Lady of the Dunes, but we don't know her real name or who killed her. In this New England's Unsolved, I spoke to a Cape Cod true crime writer who believes the lady's killer may be one of the most notorious criminals in our nation's history.
Jutting out into the Atlantic Ocean, historic Provincetown is the easternmost tip of Cape Cod, a place that attracts artists, tourists, and beach lovers from all around the world. But Provincetown is also home to one of the state's darkest mysteries, the Lady of the Dunes. On July 26, 1974, a young woman's mutilated body was discovered in the Race Point Dunes. To this day, no one knows the true identity of the Lady of the Dunes.
It was horrifying. There's no doubt about it.
Crime writer Sandra Lee was 9 years old in 1974 and camping with her family in the dunes of Provincetown. Lee tells me on the morning of July 26th, as she was walking her dog, she stumbled upon the Lady of the Dunes.
I looked into the brush and I saw, at that point in my life, what was the single most gruesome sight I have ever seen.
Sandra Lee tells me because she was afraid, she did not report the discovery to police. Police say another person walking her dog is the one who alerted authorities. Sandra Lee tells me she clearly remembers what she saw.
She was naked. I could see an injury to the right side of her head and a little bit of a slice, which I believe they tried to cut her head off as well, police later said.
Over 4 decades, police have tried to find the lady's name by recreating her face. Using her exhumed skull, sketches have given way to high-tech computer-generated images, but still, no one knows who she is. And there's one good reason why the lady is refusing to give up her secrets. Both of her hands are missing, and some of the lady's teeth pulled. And Sandra Lee tells me that could be a clue as to who killed the lady.
They're still looking into the possibility of Whitey.
Whitey, as in notorious South Boston crime boss Whitey Bulger. Sandra Lee remembers her stepfather at the time was an associate of Whitey Bulger's. Even as a child, Sandra remembers seeing Whitey Bulger in Provincetown.
It was very recognizable to me as, Uncle Jimmy. And again, always very nice to me. He spent a lot of time at the waterfront, both in Boston and Provincetown, and I think we all know why. They're giant drug ports.
But it is the way the lady was killed and the steps taken to hide her identity, Sandra Lee believes, points right back at Bulger and his crew. One of Bulger's alleged victims, Debbie Davis, was also dismembered, her hands cut off, her teeth pulled, her body left in a marshy area, much like the Lady of the Dunes.
It fits the mold of Whitey giving orders to somebody who knew too much and said too much. Because fingerprinting was basically the way people were identified back then, they wanted to do away with the hands, and that they did. The hands have never been found.
And the teeth, was she missing teeth?
They tried to pull some teeth. They were successful at pulling a couple.
Neither Whitey Bulger nor anyone else has ever been officially linked to the Lady of the Dunes case. For now, these are theories. Theories that will come into focus if this long-dead woman found in the dunes of Provincetown is ever given her name back.
Really, if nothing else, all this woman deserves is her name.
If you know anything about the Lady of the Dunes case, please call Provincetown Police at 508-487-1212. For New England's Unsolved, I'm Bob Ward, Fox 25 News.